It's a similar meaning.
How to keep yourself safe in the eye of the storm with Ascended Master Chung Fu. Peace, Chung Fu, alive.
Greetings, greetings. How are you, beloveds? Blessings and peace. Welcome, welcome into this temple of light. Welcome, welcome to commune with those of us coming forward to be with you between the worlds on the inner plane, calling you to bring all your presence forward at this time upon your earth. You who are holding the light, we are here with you. I am Chung Fu, but I have with me hundreds of beings. And as we come forward together, beloved, come and feel this presence. Open your heart. Know that all is perfect, however imperfect it may seem. However negatively you may be experiencing your life at the moment, in certain ways, at certain times. I know all of you are working hard on the inside. You understand the challenge. You understand there are different realities. You know that beings create from where they are within themselves, whether that is negative or positive. They're constantly emitting frequencies, as you are. And that what has happened is somehow, and you understand this is a very curious factor, as you look out into the world and you see beings acting in a very strange way. As you look out into the world, you realize, oh my goodness, we are being controlled. And it is true, dear ones, you are being controlled. Or maybe it's not true. Maybe you have realized and you are standing back a little. You're beginning to think, or maybe you've thought all along, I'm not going to be controlled. If you've worked with me for a long time, you certainly won't be wanting to be controlled, because we spent a long time with you coming back into alignment, which means into control. It means into the driving seat of your life. What is really happening in the world is it's quite shocking how it is, in that sense, showing up. This light, as we've always said, the Christ light comes in and shows up all the shadows, all the darkness. And some of you are thinking, well, is there anything but darkness? If you are pulled down into the swirling craziness of this attempt to take over the earth, then you are definitely thinking, oh, it's very overwhelming, all this heavy negative energy. But if you understood and you realize, as we work together, the options that you have, that you actually can make your own reality, this is still the truth. The universe didn't suddenly change the laws. All that happens is that certain beings have manipulated the laws to their advantage in a very negative creation. They've used your trusting minds, or not yours, but those of those who, the minds of those who have, in that sense, followed blindly what they've been told, that have not questioned, have not felt into themselves and thought, is this good for me? No. So I won't do it then. Why would I do something that is not beneficial to my being? And what's happening now, because so many have been caught up in this storm, because it is a storm. It's a war, but that war is a mental storm, an emotional storm. It's causing terror. It's causing chaos. It's causing division. It's causing sides to kind of war against each other. That's right. It's a storm. So how do you best take care of yourself? First of all, that's right, you have to come into the eye of the storm, where it is actually calm. Because if you're swirling anywhere other than in the very center of your being, and therefore the center of the storm, in the eye of the storm, if if you get flung out into this kind of, whoa, well, yes, that is how you'll feel. And you need to recognize when that happens and come back to the center really quickly and understand, all right, I'm covered in muck. I'm covered in stuff that's sprayed all over me from this chaos, but it's not mine. It doesn't belong to me, so it's not going to stick if I just wash it off. And sometimes you can do it symbolically. Sometimes you literally need to take a bath. Sometimes you need to do some praying, some connecting, some resourcing, some coming back into the center of your being. All of your practices, everything you've learned is relevant. Whether you learn them from me or some other beautiful, benign being who is in your life, whether you knew them, got them straight from source, practices. You have to practice self-care. You have to understand you are under attack and it is very stressful. The only safe place is in the eye of the storm, is right in the very center of your being, connected with the divine, breathing out from yourself the reality that you wish to propagate and project, staying in that power, completely clear that nothing of all this shenanigans, nothing of all this propaganda and fear-mongering has anything to do with you. It's just swirling out there, it's swirling away, it's catching people in its chaos. But not if you're sitting in the eye of your storm, not if you're just watching with a benign and compassionate view and sending love, sending peace, staying in the peace, staying in the love, staying in the high frequency, and you will just feel it all bypasses you. It's just not relevant to you. Why would you suddenly think that something that has nothing to do with you is relevant? Suddenly, you are affected by things that have no vibrational affinity with you. Why? Why would you believe that? This is the effect. This is where you are having to work on your mind, your subconscious, and not allow any fear triggers to cause you to react. You can feel the triggers and you can breathe into them and you know, I've gone into my fear. There's a bit of negativity. I got affected by that. That threatened me, or that felt, well, no. Again, no, it was in your mind. It's information. You live in this absurdly over-informed reality of information, a lot of which has nothing to do with you. And if it wasn't for your social media and your MSM and all of this over-communicated information, you would be sitting peacefully in your home. You would be perhaps going for a walk in nature. You would be loving your children. You would be writing your books. You would be doing your creativity. Maybe, yes, there's an imposition of some curtailment of your movement, but you would find a wonderful way to enjoy that. You would laugh at the restrictions and so on. Now, having said all of that, I understand. There's a place where you're so affected that it really has been a curtailment of your creativity, of your peace, and it has come into you. And so you got to clear it out. You got to recognize, well, wait a minute. I'm choosing to respond this way. Is there another way I can respond? Do I have to respond like this? Do I want to believe that I must stay in my home forever, or wear this mask forever? Or do I want to believe that? Do I want to go that way? Well, no, I don't. And so I won't. I will find that way to walk peacefully. Because it's not, I walk out and I go into the eye of the storm. No, it's an internal statement. It's about your state of mind. And you take that eye of the storm with you. You walk with it. You go everywhere with it. Wherever you go, you become that place of peace. And nothing can actually perturb you when you work on that and you create that within yourself. And that is the most important point of self-care. to realize the terrible detrimental effect of fear and all its cousins and relatives, worry, anxiety, doubt, uncertainty, negative projection happening as a result of that. Oh, well, if I can't do that, then I can't do that, and that'll make that go. And you sort of propagate realities on top of that false reality, because fear is a false reality. It's not really your nature to just be afraid. Of course, if you have, a fire burning through, or, yes, aspects of the violence that has come about, yes, that's a reality. Yes, it causes fear. I understand. But again, unless your person is being attacked right now, unless there is actually at your door or somewhere right in your face something very damaging, I want you to remember it's not real at this moment. Everything that you imagine has the possibility to become real. Remember that. If you want to create safety, you create it inside, and then it radiates around you. And magic happens. Peace happens around you. You could say almost implausible, impossible peace happens. In the middle of war zones, you create peace. Because ultimately, as I'm sure all of you know, you create your reality. But it's a really powerful and real statement. I want to say it to you over and over. You have the power to create the eye of the storm wherever you are, because you are much more powerful than this projected, stormy, negative reality that's being propagated and believed in by so many. Well, that's the problem there. That is believed in by so many. So that is also quite a stress for you when you come across your one-time friend and they're in the storm, they're swirling in it, and they don't see it. They're just being pushed around and swirled about in this chaotic, negative reality. And you want to go and save them. Well, of course, if you do that, you're going to be in the storm. You're going to be imbibing some of the reality that they've become a part of. So that is a difficult choice. You can still love your friend, but remember, you can't make choices for them. It's very tough right now. That is part of what you have to work on inside, to realize, well, if your friends make choices that are wounding and damaging to them, they might have done it in another way and you would never have known because it wasn't so obvious, but that was always in them, in fact, to make those choices, and they made them, and now it's so visible and obvious, so polarizing for you that you have a reaction. Whereas they might have gone on in their life making choices that you don't really agree with, that you didn't really know, it wasn't so obvious. What's happening is everything is becoming starkly obvious, starkly clear, like here we are, here it is. And you either want to look, or it's so obvious, it's painful to look, and then many of your friends, perhaps they don't want to look at this. They want to read a novel. They want to watch a movie. They don't realize they are part of a novel and a movie happening, which is affecting all humanity. They don't see it objectively. When you're in the eye of the storm, you are in that sense an observer, because you're not being swirled around. So you have the space in yourself to look. And if any of you are writers, creative beings, write a song, write a book, create pictures. These are very important right now. They are the divine commentary. They are the observer. In that sense, elucidating, enlightening humanity by your observations and your creations in alignment with the source, because the source is the eye of the storm. There are no problems in heaven, beloved ones. The deities are not worried. Some of them are, closer, can we say, more part of the huge holding power, more close into the mental, emotional bodies of humanity. Some of them you're calling in as well. But I assure you, all is well in the universe of love. And that those who are choosing, they are also on their soul's path, choosing things you're not choosing. Maybe choosing to have the injection that you're not choosing, or perhaps you're choosing have to the injection they're not choosing. But the thing is, understand, they are free. You are free. This is your soul's journey, and what you choose you will walk with, and you will learn what your soul needs to learn. And upon this earth and in this dimension, every possible experience is there for you, from pain to ecstasy, from total confusion to total clarity. Everything is possible. You came to experience a gamut of emotions, from the very darkest to the most light and wondrous. You're always choosing. So for those who come to listen to Chung Fu, I say to you, know that peace in your heart, compassion and kindness, and love towards all, whatever they have done, whatever you think they have done, whatever their opinion and judgment is of what you have done or not done. Understand, you are all free to choose. And nonetheless, even though it is as it is and so confusing and bringing such conflict for you all, try your very best to remain in that place of peace. It doesn't mean you don't talk to people or say your truth, or, you stand down and pretend you think things you don't think. No, it's just that if you come from that place for a start, whatever you say is going to be more powerful. And you just say it with calm, literally presence and power. I'm just telling you the truth as I see it, whichever truth it is. And I'm not reacting to whether your truth is different. I am just saying I love you, and this is how I see it. And if I have fears about the way you see it, I'm going to own, well, I have a fear about the way you're seeing that, but I understand and honor it is your soul's choice. And if I'm angry and I think you're just not listening to me, I might own that and say, I'm going to go and deal with my anger. I'm feeling angry. I've got this anger. I'm going to move it, but I'm going to stay in the I. I'm going to bring the peace in. I know I had peace before this moment. I'm going to alchemize my frustration. I'm going to give up all my negative emotions into the heavenly realms of alchemical transformation, knowing that really my anger is just my frustrated love. I have generosity and compassion towards my heart that is feeling so much. For you are all beautiful beings of light. You are carrying the divine love into the hearts of people who perhaps have had so much fear and been moved by so much fear. There's no space right now for them to come to peace and receive your love. It's a great hardship that you are going through at the moment. Whichever side you're on, whichever belief you have, it's all a massive initiation and test for every single human being. Have great compassion for your brothers and sisters, whether they're on your path of evolution, whether they have your beliefs or not. This is your initiation if you are one who is perhaps working with Chung Fu, working with deep inner processing and transformation. Well, they didn't choose that, perhaps, and so they can't see what you can see. They can't experience and feel the depths of love and spiritual presence that you feel. They don't have that option. It's not there. They didn't work towards it like you did. They didn't create it within them. And so there's not that choice. They are going for something that seems obvious, that seems to give them something that will benefit them. That's how it is. For each human being does their very best to walk their path of truth, even if they've never been taught truth and they actually are lying, but they don't know it. Have compassion for your brothers and sisters, dear one. Each of you have your own position. Just remember, it's the love ultimately that counts in your spiritual evolution. You can't be a highly evolved being unless you are a deeply loving, compassionate being. That comes first. So take the challenge. Take the initiatory path. And when it really pushes on you, when it really hurts and you can feel loss coming, bereavement coming, or you're already there, breathe and remember, all right, this is now the time for you to come fully back again and realize that your fear has led you here because this was what you needed to experience, this loss, this bereavement, this suffering or pain. And stay strong, stay courageous, walk through it. You can do it. You are an eternal soul, but so are all the beings who are being manipulated, pushed around. The beings you might think are perhaps a little blind compared to you. Maybe you think so, but who knows why they made the choices they did. Really allow in your heart that souls all belong to the divine. Wherever they go now, whatever is happening, it's all part of their contract, their initial contract of why they came to this earth. If you consider, and perhaps you do, that they made the wrong choice, well, maybe review that, because perhaps they needed the experiences they are about to have. It's a very huge context in which souls are evolving from lifetime to lifetime. If their choice leads to disaster, death, terrible illness, remember how many people all over the world elect to come into imperfect bodies and experience life in that way. Perhaps they elected for it. If they go to spirit, what you consider is before their time, try to just let go and say, well, they belong to God, Goddess anyway. They're just going back earlier. Just hold them in your heart and love them. Just do your very best, dear ones, to take care of yourself in the eye of this storm. Love yourself, hold yourself, and create positive images, positive visions of how you want it to be on this earth. And don't let them go. Don't believe, oh, it's all going to be a disaster forever. No, you are creators and creatrixes. You are the ones now stepping forward. And from this place of peace and love and compassion, from this deep soul connection, dear ones, you will see all will be well. You're not quite through yet. The eye of the storm is also a tunnel eye. You just walk, you just keep walking, and you're in that eye, and you're taken care of. The spirits take care of you if you remain in that high vibration that helps them a lot to be present with you and walk with you. You have to do that work. You have to monitor yourself and realize, oh, I've dropped into some fear. I've dropped into some negativity, and pick yourself up and start walking in that eye of peace and calm, of beauty. It's always there, dear ones. Just as Chung and all the spirits and the ascended beings, angelic beings and deities, they're always there. Because in the world of light, which is but contains and holds even the greatest storm, there is love. There is always presence. The divine creator being did not suddenly change the rules because of this psyop, this negative creation in the center, making a storm, making chaos for you all, trying to confuse you, trying to throw you off. No, that's not the divine creation, dear ones. You are channeling direct from the source, the presence divine. That doesn't change unless you change it. And so, beloved ones, that really is my message for you today. And I can see brave souls with courage, creating more and more confidence, compassion, sending love and healing to many beings as you see the tragedies happening around you of the brothers and sisters who are being hurt and damaged by this so-called medical intervention. And I'm not going to talk anymore about that because you all know it. You are well read. And if you're not, we'll go and read some more and take the advice of those present here who do know the truth, understand there is a truth. There is one truth. Find it. Understand it. Because the opinions and the narratives all contain different so-called truths and can get very confusing. So get to the source, dig deeper. The truth will speak to you and you will feel it. And I know all of you on here, pretty much all of you. Yes, all of you indeed. You know the truth. So thank you, dear ones. And I'm going to take questions now, if there are any, and then do a short, powerful meditation at the end. So if you have some questions, do by all means bring them to me. Peace. I listen.
A lady asked a while back in the group,
Mm-hmm.
and I said I would ask. Believe. What did she say? She asked, not believed. She asked. I think it was along the lines of, "Can I channel Chung Fu too?" That's what she asked.
Well, in that my name means inner truth. There is always a place of truth within you, dear one. In that sense, I am not channeling my whole being through anyone else at this time. But that does not mean I'm not accessible to you. And you might feel my presence amongst your guides and helpers. It's not impossible, beloved. But it is an evolution of your being. And so those thoughts that come through, they might come from myself or other ascended beings, and you'd be able to recognize that, beloved. Peace.
The predictive text on Facebook read, "Can I channel food?"
Oh, yes.
It's
very funny, you know. Yes, what was that one? Yes.
Junk food.
Junk food was the other one that the predictive junk food. That's what it called me. So, can you channel junk food? Maybe two.
Julie Andrews says, "Hello, everyone." Jennifer Gold says, "Hello." Elsa Field, "Hello, beautiful people."
Greetings.
Sending much love to you all. Janet Jenkins and Rachel Moyer and many others watching. Jill Norfolk, much love to you all. I'm not seeing any questions yet. Maybe
right.
if I reload it, it might show some questions.
Well, thank you all for your presence and for all your strong,
Here we go.
beautiful light energy.
Elsa asks, Elsa Field, How do we support family members with different opinions to us in these difficult times?
I know, dear one, and I was addressing some of this for all of you are experiencing it. You're making a different decision from perhaps your friend, your family, your mothers, your fathers, and brothers and sisters. Take a big breath. There are a few points to mention because you're probably talking about the inoculation, which isn't a word beginning with V. It just isn't that. It doesn't do what those words beginning with V actually do. It's not a prevention. It's not a therapy for what it says it's for. So, what is it? All right. So, those of you who have been working with me and doing your research, you understand that there is an agenda. All right. There's a nefarious, destructive agenda. In fact, there's a desire, literally, to attack the life of human beings upon the earth. And that has to be said. That does not, however, mean that it's happening everywhere immediately. It's having different effects because there are different types of inoculation and content and balance, and different types of bodies, of course. So when you discover that your relative has taken it, there's another factor as well, which says that the inventors of this were so concerned, and they still are, actually. They're beginning to realize they've made some big mistakes. They're so concerned about the fact of the number, and they were already preempting that, by the way, at the very start, before they even started Vex, so-called people. But they're so worried about it that they made sure that 30% of what's given out is actually placebo. In other words, it's not got anything in it whatsoever. And I can see that there are some, well, there are many people who have not, in fact, had that at all, that toxic substance. And that is a hope. That is also something positive to say to you, that you can, in that sense, call to the spirits to try and assist those of your family. If you don't want to have that treatment, you don't trust it, which I strongly recommend as an attitude. But if that's your attitude and you find that your family and your friends are doing it, kind of imagine in your heart that they just get that clear placebo inoculation with nothing in it. They think they're all protected now. It's done the psychological trick and they're free. They got the out of jail card, they got blessed. And your projection, your love has assisted that to be the case. Just remember that there are very benign forces in the universe trying also, not even trying, just coming forward to help. And they have to work with the laws. They have to work with the laws of frequency. And so you can sometimes feel if that member of the family, that friend, has quite a low vibration, because if they do, may have quite a fear-filled, heavy, kind of negative vibration, you're probably not going to be able to get through to them and make any significant change with your energy. But if you have a divine connection, a family connection, a love flow with somebody, and they're quite light beings, they really are good, in that sense, good vibration. They got a healthy field. Then just feel yourself part of that field. And bring in more light. Connect with the field of your beloved or your friend or your family. And feel yourself filling up their field, their subconscious mind especially, with that light, with that love. Do the Ho'oponopono, which is a very good practice to clear your field and enable that connection to be stronger. So when you do the Ho'opono, which is I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, what's really happening is a self-healing. You're clearing your field. You're becoming a purer transmitter. And when you think of that person, you send the light. There's more connect. There's more transmission. See in your mind's eye that person, you could say, walking free, completely fine, even having No, no effect from the vaccine. Know the power of magic. Believe in it. Work with it. That's the best you can do. Peace, beloved.
I can't see any more questions. I know people have written. Basically, when I reloaded it, they kind of disappeared. So, Deborah, if you write your question again, it was something to do with the starship. Lynn Angela L. Yunsi asks, "Am I finally in the right place and path?"
Well, I can just give a single word answer and say yes, Jiwan. Yes, I can see you've made a lot of changes. It's been a big effort, and you've lifted yourself up into a new vibration. There may be more specific questions that you want to ask, but basically, yes, beloved. Peace.
I think Deborah asked something along the lines of, could she have a bit more information of the presence of the starship that showed itself at a ceremony? I can't actually see the question. It's disappeared on Facebook.
Peace, beloved. So what I can see and what I'm experiencing from your soul's transmission here is that you have seen star beings coming in during a ceremony, and they have indeed come in to bless you. They are ancient Pleiadian ancestors. They are ancestors of ancestors, we could say. They are creator beings, beings who have been part of the creation of Earth many times and have come in to work with those who are their relatives, their relations here upon the earth, and they're very close now. And that's because of the birthing of the new earth, of the new reality. And that is their domain. That is what they do, empower you as well. Each and every one who receives their energy gets more power for the birthing, for the uplifting of the energy. The most important thing to understand is the frequency story, the frequency of love and light that is really hard to maintain at times, but just keep doing your very best. I see that you do, and I see that you're helping a lot of people, Derville. It's wonderful. Understand that that is your job, and that is what you're really good at. Gatherings, bring more people, do the ceremonies because they are powerful, especially on the land, clearly so. Wonderful work, Diwan. And those star beings, yes, they came in response to your call. You did actually call them in. And they came to boost your field, especially you, but also all those who were present with you. And that doesn't just mean the physical beings, because their energy is so high, they have actually also come to the beings who have been present on the inner plane. Ancestors, who I see very clearly there, have been part of your gathering. So wonderful work, dear one. Thank you so much. Thank you from all the beings, including the star beings, the Pleiadians. Blessings and peace, dear one.
Anna Harris asks, "I am frustrated by being dissociated. I did this to survive as a kid, and I think it's because I am a being who feels deeply. What is your advice for overcoming a state of feeling disassociated?"
So you are a musician, aren't you, beloved?
Yeah, she is.
Mm-hmm. So above all, you need to keep playing your music. And at this time, that can be very challenging because perhaps the groups that you play in and all, the occasions that you celebrate through your music, in which you have a lot of identity, which you feel alive and you feel to be who you truly are. And when there's not enough of that, that old dissociation happens again when you go up into your upper bodies and you kind of abandon your human self. I know, I understand. So music. And if there doesn't seem to be a reason for you to play music, Find one, Realize that for you, that is your association technique. That is your connection. That when you hear, when you make the sound and you either sing or play your instruments, what's happening is you're resonating your field back into connection and association. Notice how you feel after playing. Try to have little gatherings where people come. I don't know what particular regulations you're dealing with at the moment, but normally speaking, you can have 2 or 3 and try to do that and create these moments of association with your muse, because your muse is, in that sense, the closest power, if you like, in your body and in your spirit that can join those two together. When you hear on the inside and you feel that desire to play, and then you actually play and you create the vibration of the music, it brings you into your body. Do it and you will notice, but especially do it if you can with others, because the symbolism of creating harmony, which of course all these negative controllers want to stop. They want to stop you creating harmony. Well, don't stop, beloved. Carry on, create music, play your instruments, and bring joy. Bring others to share it, even if it's one other. Keep going, G1. Don't stop doing what is, in fact, your calling. And you will feel more associated in that sense, more connected. And of course, that in that sense, that creates a snowball effect that then you'll feel more like creating, and then that will add to the enthusiasm of getting together again. You can't suddenly do without what is the truth of your way of expression, of your way of manifesting and appearing in the world. And this effect, beloved, is happening everywhere. And I understand there's a part of it that is true and from before. But again, you can work through it with expression, with music, with song, with speech as well, to clear and to bring forward and let go of that which no longer serves you, and bring more music, more love, more presence in. Peace to you, Wen.
Peace. So we've got one more question. Sadika asks, please could you say whether and how we should be protecting ourselves from the transmission of the you-know-what, the Maxine and the shedding and all the rest.
So what I would like Jerome to do, and I sort of said this earlier, is if you could put on there the protocol provided by David Wolf.
Yeah.
This is a very good protocol. It's exactly the answer to your question. This information is there. But mostly the part that I want to add to that is raise your frequency. Understand that unless you're literally, putting yourself inside the field by... And that is a problem, and it can be for couples where one partner's taken the vaccine, the other one hasn't. Try to remember that vibration is everything, frequency is everything. Even in that instance, I would say to you, do the protocol, take the supplements and all that has been suggested there. There are a few things. I'm not going to go through that now because that post hopefully will be shared with you all. There's a lot of information there. It's very important information. But the most important aspect I want to add to that is your frequency, that it's all about frequency. Don't be... how can I say, don't have the wool pulled over your eyes that suddenly the universe has become different. No, it's still about frequency. It's about vibration. You cannot attract into you something that doesn't fit the frequency of your energy. And this is a dark and dirty frequency. And if your energetic is clean and pure and beautiful and uplifted, positive and strong, clear, absolutely certain you're not getting anything, That's your immune system right there. Your immune system starts in your mind, how you feel. Whether you feel vulnerable, do you feel negative? You're feeling positive? Have you got fear in you? Are you falling over yourself, stumbling along, feeling really disturbed? Well, pay attention. Come back to the eye that we talked about, the eye of the storm. Come back to peace. Remember, you are in charge of you. No one else really has access to you unless you give them access. What did you listen to? Who told you something frightening? Was that really true? Is that in your field? Do you want to let it into your field? Do you want to live like that? Or are you just going to say, no, I live in peace and harmony and in high frequency and nothing touches me? It's a frequential, resonant, vibrational universe. Watch what happens, because that which is in fact negative, evil, harmful, by the law of the universe, it must repercuss on the sender. That is the law. Watch it happen. Be very clear. Stay in the eye of the storm. Look after yourself. Be gentle. Follow the protocols. Get the supplements. Get what you need. But be very clear that it's not touching you. It's just not touching you because it's got nothing to do with you. You don't live there. You live in this high frequency field. And yes, unfortunately, you can watch people get sucked down the drain, get sucked into that narrative, into that reality. But notice they go there. They walk there with their own volition. They make it happen. They make it a reality. So just don't make it a reality, beloved one. All right? And we will send you that extremely beneficial, supportive information for you to remember you can mitigate against most of the effects. And if you are strong and positive as well, it's just not stopping. It's just not going to get anywhere near you. Because it's not a physical universe only. It is a light universe, and the laws of light are stronger. You see, in this instance, that's your strength. The laws of light overrule the laws of, if you like, darkness. If light is what you're emanating, it's always going to overpower and be stronger than negativity, fear, suffering. And you can always bring the light in, even if you are feeling negative, fearful, and suffering. It's always an opportunity for your souls to grow and for you to bring in more of your highest self light. Always, that's your whole life. That is what you're doing. Don't stop doing it suddenly. Don't suddenly think, well, there's so much fear now that the whole boat's going over. No, you're just going to balance and stand over here so the boat leans more this way, and you're going to be balancing everything and staying in your power and staying in your vibrational elevation, because that's where you live. You don't suddenly change the weather of your world because somebody else's world is kind of spilling over into yours. You just clear your field and remember the truth. And I understand that sometimes you get caught out, but come back quickly. Peace to you, Anne.
Peace.
All right,
I think
beloveds.
that's all the questions.
Good. Thank you for coming to be here with me today. Each one of you precious souls, remember, that's right, you are the transmission channels in the eye of the storm to bring that light that you are, to add to the light. As you raise your frequency, you become part of a vast presence of light. And you are strengthened. When you lift yourself up, you feel completely different. So right now, just taking a breath, breathing deep. Seeing the chaos in the world, swirling chaos. Seeing the pain and suffering being imposed on people. Seeing the fear in people who are feeling insecure and are being influenced, pushed around, told what to do, frightened into actions, threatened. Breathe. And really observe whether this is in fact true for you or in truth not. Actually, you're not being threatened. You might be choosing to feel threatened, but you're not actually being threatened. Just notice the difference. Start realizing, actually, I'm all right. And I'm going to stay very all right. I'm going to increase this feeling of all right. I'm going to magnify it because I can choose to do that. And just feel yourself magnifying it right now. Inside your heart, I'm all right. I'm safe. I'm strong. I'm protected. I'm loved. Take a big breath. Feel yourself on the out breath just letting go. Any tensions in your body. Letting go of anything negative that has crept in. Feel your field getting very secure as you sweep love through it from your heart center, from the very center of your being, and you expand the eye of the storm to be a vast space that you occupy and that you own. This mobile eye of the storm, you're going to be taking it with you wherever you go. It's around you. It's your creation. Wherever you go, you become the eye of that storm. You become the place of safety where people gravitate to. They want to hear what you have to say because you're so vibrationally uplifting and so positive, so loving. They want to hear the truth that you have to share. Breathe and feel yourself becoming so strong, so gently compassionate and present. I am here, transmitter of the light. I am present. I am holding this eye of peace and calm. I'm expanding my field. However little it appears to be possible, I am influencing my beloveds to know the calm and the peace, to choose the path of joy and love, health and strength, both inner and outer. I feel my influence, my thoughts, my knowledge and understanding radiating out to all those who need it at this moment in the beauty way with the greatest of ease. I give thanks for the wellness of my being. I give thanks for the truth pouring in from the source, filling me with the knowledge and understanding. I open my heart to all beings, and yet I keep myself safe that no negative energy shall seep in and start to disturb the calm peace that I am constantly radiating from my heart. I forgive myself when I come out of character of this, who I choose to be. I forgive myself if I get disturbed and get swirled around into the storm and have to bring myself back. I love myself and accept all my imperfections and aberrations from my powerful, deep center of truth and peace and love and joy. I take care of my heart. I feel the grief and the loss within the world of beautiful souls who have gone to the spirit world really early. Whether they were young or old, they went too early. They were not going to go. They were not destined to go. They've been interfered with and pushed. I feel the grief of those who did not understand. and in any way got damaged or hurt. I see the strength and the power of deities, angelic beings, guides, helpers, ascended relations. I open to let their power come into me, to hold the space for humanity, to hold the eye of the storm wherein I can take care of all the souls I see suffering. I can bring them into the peace and administer love and healing balm of kindness and compassion. I understand and let go of trying to influence those who have decided to walk a different path. But I come back to my center and I think of them with great compassion. I send them love, the Ho'oponopono. I understand and have great compassion for the fear that may have manipulated them in some way. I love all my beloveds the same, whatever choices they have made. I become more and more of a channel of compassion and love with every day as I grow in the peace and the love and the happiness in my heart at the center, in the eye of the storm. And I see how from this place of peace I can create a new earth. And I create that vision deep inside my heart. I see it manifesting at the perfect time with the perfect people. As I walk forward into new forms and ways of living upon the earth that bring goodness, harmony, peace, loving presence, divine safety. I bring people into deep soul connection, love and joy. I give thanks for my body, my heart, and my mind. I give thanks for the overlighting protection, the love, blessings, peace, grace, and beauty, power, strength, wisdom. I give thanks for the inspiration, illumination, the healing, compassion of the all-in-one divine presence, deep within me and each and every one of my beloveds gathered on the inner plane. Blessings and peace. Thank you all for gathering here. Thank you for your good attention and for the fact that you go on, heroes, warriors, all, going on with your life in whatever way that is in these difficult circumstances. And just don't forget, we are here. We are with you. We love you. Many crystal beings coming forward, and I remind you of the power of Shungite. And if you've got it, work with it. If you haven't got it, talk to Jerome about it. For he can also teach you a lot about it. He uses it a great deal. He is working with crystals all the time, so you can ask him questions. He's highly trained and extremely proficient in his work. He does wonderful healing work. So as you go on with your journey, dear ones, I wish you deep soul connection. And remember, when you call me in, yes, I am on the inside of your heart, beloved, with all the divine beings that you commune with. Blessings, peace.
Yes, and on that note, If you do want shungite, you can go to my website, which is jrocker.com/join if you want to join my mailing list, or /crystals if you just want to get some shungite. I've got all sorts on there as well for you to look at. But on the note of deep soul connection, we are going to be looking forward soon come in the near future to running some immersions, some real deep dive power builders. So we'll look forward to that.
Oh, yes, and tomorrow there is a transmission.
Yeah.
A healing call, yes.
Yeah, well said. So tomorrow night, if you really loved this very powerful deep dive just now, tomorrow night we won't be doing Q&A. So we're just going to be going very, very deep to really do the work and just really super tune in that sense. And it really is supercharge these monthly deep dives with Chung Fu, where we actually join up with many worldwide what we call spirit worker veterans now, because they have been really working with Chung Fu since the beginning of the monthly deep dive live streams, which are available via video access and audio on donation. The video access is just £15, I believe. So it's a steal of a deal to be going really deep for a long, long time and to really tune in. So do come and join us. If you want to jump on board, I suggest shooting Sophie an email right away this evening or tomorrow morning, which is sophie.deepconnection@gmail.com. That's sophie.deepconnection@gmail.com. Also, just to mention that I will have a brand new Do It in Your Own Time Shungite course that will be out very soon. So much love to you all, and thanks for coming and hanging out and journeying with us and empowering with us. We love you.
Great blessings and peace.